Hello, hello. Welcome back to Scaling Stories. Today we have with us life and leadership coach Carly Clark Zimmer. Welcome, Carly.
Thank you. Excited to be
Yeah,
here.
I'm so happy to have you here. So Carly is also an expat. So I moved from the US to Spain, and you are living?
I currently live in Galway, Ireland. It's been about for a little over 4 years now.
Longer than me. So yes, so we are in this club of people who have been given the freedom of taking advantage and just sort of really made our lives so that we can be location independent and really take advantage of these really cool opportunities like living in another country. So thank you so much for being here. And please let us know what your business looks like today. What do you do? Dive into all of that juicy stuff.
Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit about the journey of how I got to where I am today. But now I primarily focus on life and leadership development and coaching, helping people break ingrained societal conditioning, institutional conditioning, and even family generational patterns that keep showing up that kind of keep our life limited and small and might prevent you from doing things like moving to another country or going for that job that you really want or no longer settling for even a relationship. So I work with people anywhere from corporate executives to people who run their own businesses, CEOs. And what's really led me to this work is connecting deeply with your body and where your body is asking you to go and what those deep desires are. And I think we've kind of been conditioned to play it safe, squash those down. And so I get so excited and passionate about helping people kind of step out of those self-imposed boxes that we can put ourselves in.
Let's dive more into, we're going to just go into it like right now.
Yes, let's do it.
Right. Let's dive more into this mind-body connection, because for me, this is something that has helped me personally to really feel what it feels like to do something aligned and help to really connect with my own intuition and lead my business down a path that feels so good for me, is listening to my body, being in tune with my body, using that as the guide, as like the check-in, as, oh, how does this feel for me? So this is something that I have been working on myself, and I would love to hear from your expertise, how this, just everything about whatever you want to tell me about it, tell the listeners about this, because to me, this is so key, and people don't talk about it that much. Like, I don't hear that many people dive into this, and it has been such a huge help for me.
I believe this is the missing link. It's the thing that we are all craving in our life, is that internal guidance, that connection with our own GPS system. But yet our society, right, it really praises the mind and our intelligence and making rational decisions and logical decisions and checklists and like pros and cons, right? And so, a couple 100 years ago, we really got away from that connection with the body, and it started to move into productivity. And this is where I think coaching can kind of bite us in the butt. Is a lot of where coaching came from was trying to get people to be more productive. Now, what we want to do, we want to live full lives, fulfilling lives. So I came to this realization because I actually, this is like decades ago, but when I had my first massage ever, I realized what is going on in this body. Like I felt so different from when I went in to that session, and like my fingers and my toes started to wake up and light up. And so I'll give you the 2-minute version. That led me to eventually go to massage therapy school in New York City, which then led me to a practice that I was in for 12 years. And what I realized working with so many people and continuing to deepen my own connection with my body is that the body has all of the answers we are looking for. It from your career to your relationship to where you're going to live, to all of that, right? The body stores all of that. what's good for me, what's not good for me, right? We see it in our skin. I know if I have too much wine, my cheeks will get really red. It's like, the body's like, no, time to stop. And so that's what led me to this connection, this investigation of, well, there's more here than just making people feel good with massage. So I added coaching into my business to start to connect, like the verbal processing piece of having a dialogue with someone else and unpacking what's going on with the skills that I gained from a massage practice. And the results were tremendously impactful, right? People started to make these quote unquote scary decisions. And I'll tell you, looking back years now, it's worked out for them. The body doesn't lie. And I think what lies to us is our mind all the time. We can guarantee that our mind is going to tell us lies all the time.
Right.
So it is something that we've been disconnected from, that we can regain that connection. Everybody has that ability. And it's just a matter of starting to develop those practices of listening.
So can you give us an example so my audience, my people are generally soulful service providers. So let's say somebody is in their business, and how does being in tune with your body, or what are some things that somebody can do who is on this entrepreneurial journey in order to be in touch, and how does it help to guide them to the right choice?
Yeah, I wish I could give you a one size fits all, like do this and you are connected deeply to your
That'd be
intuition.
amazing. I know.
Yeah, from my experience, for some people who very much live in the logical mind, it takes time to even create safety to kind of come down into the body. Like, this is okay, right? Depending on our past and what's transpired. So I think the very first step is a simple body scan of just closing your eyes and imagining that energy like pouring down your head, going through your jaw, going down your collarbone, and just like bringing it down into your hips, down your knees, into your feet. You can envision like a golden, honey bringing all of that energy down, rooting with the earth. And then from there, bring it back up into your feet. And that will just subtly start to help you drop down from the very busyness of your mind. Even 1 minute, you could practice that for 1 minute, and it will start to shift your energy. And you can even ask yourself afterwards, oh, how do I feel now? Most people will feel a little bit calmer, the energy will be more integrated rather than just focused up here in the head. So I think that's the most basic, simplest body scan practices. I'm sure you could Google it, find a ton of them on YouTube, but keep it small and manageable so you can build a practice out of it.
And this helps you, or in my understanding and what I do myself personally, so correct me if I'm off base, is when you are learning to be more in touch and more in tune with your body, it really is a connection with your intuition, and you can feel when something feels right, when it's like, oh, like it helps really amplify that feeling, so you can actually listen to and you can recognize your own intuition, at least for me, and more easily than when you're just all just in your mind, right? Like when everything's just in your mind, you're not clear, and it's just everything's very foggy up there. So when you actually get to step out of that into your body, and these things come, like I'll feel something like, this is the right path, right? Or like, oh no, this is not the right path. This is a no. And for me, it helps me to connect much more easily to that. So I don't know if that is something that what you're talking about, if that's connected, if that makes sense to you.
Yes, absolutely. And I think every person is a little bit different. So my invitation would be start to explore this. For me, what I actually do is I go for a walk. And when I go outside and I'm in nature and I'm connected to, all of the other information that's around me, the answers come really quickly. If I'm sitting here at my computer trying to figure it out, I almost feel like I'm cut off from all of the other intuitive knowings of my being, right? Connected to, we're all made of the same stuff. So for me, I've just discovered that going out, getting connected with nature, going for a walk, usually the answer lands. And then a fun thing to pay attention to is, what does your intuition sound like? So my mind is very busy and very quick. My intuition is very grounded. It's just like, boom, this is it. It's not excited. It's not doom and gloom. It's just very calm. She's like the wise 90-year-old part of
Oh,
myself.
I
It's
love
just
that.
like, honey, this is what you get to do. I'm like, I know. Okay. So there's lots of different practices, but it's
Mhm.
kind of fun just to start to pay attention to what does she sound like? What are the circumstances that might actually help me get connected to that
Mhm.
so that over time you'll recreate your own practice that's actually going to support you.
I love that. So let's go back now, rewind a little bit, and let's talk about your journey. So we talked about what you do now and a little bit just into your journey, and also how has this practice helped you in your journey in making these decisions, and where did you discover it, or how has it really impacted what you've been doing in your business?
Yes. So I know we're here to talk about scaling. And because I developed this practice actually early on in my massage career,
Mhm.
with simple things like what type of clients did I want to work with back then? It was uncommon for other massage therapists to say, "What's your ideal client?" Right? They're like,
Right.
everybody. And for me, no, no, no. I want to work the specific type of person because I bring a certain type of value into those sessions. So even way back then, when I had my massage practice, I would start to just go for a walk and get connected with that and then trust, right? The brain's like, no, you need to work with everybody. You need to charge the same amount. All the other therapists in
Mhm.
town. But I didn't, right? So I started to charge a little bit more and then a little bit more because I knew the value of what I was delivering.
So let me
And
ask
that,
you, so let me interrupt you and
yeah,
ask you, because this is a brave thing to do and something that a lot of people struggle with is, and it sounds like you just
yes.
immediately knew, you were like, no, this is where I'm aligned and this is what's for
Mhm.
me. And was it a struggle or was it like, no, I'm going to trust myself. I've already built up this trust muscle. Like, how did that work for
Oh,
you?
hell no. No, no, no,
Beautiful.
no. This was scary as shit to make these decisions. But yet, what I recognized in my body was actually when I thought about charging less for my services, I'd get hot. Like
Mhm.
my face would get really hot. I'd get a little panicky feeling. I was like, that does not feel right. So what does feel right? And I just started to play with um the different feelings in my body. And because I was a massage therapist for 12 years, I did have access, like an access
Mhm.
point to what my body was saying. And so I think I intuitively just started to bring that into my business because I was so aware of what didn't feel right from even before I had my private massage practice.
Mhm.
I worked at a spa and I had to work with people that I did not want to work with. So I was very aware with what that felt like. It did not feel good.
I love that. Also, I would love this. Like, no, I was scared. I was super scared, and I did it because I knew that this is what my body was telling me, and this was the way. So I really love that distinction because I feel like when people talk about things like I did this, and then you think people assume that you did this, and yeah, like you have some special power, but really everybody does all these things, and they're scared, and they do them anyways. They do them despite being scared, and I think it's an important
Absolutely.
distinction to point
And
out.
Andrea, I still have those
Oh yeah,
fears,
yeah. Hmm.
like to this day,
Mhm.
right? So I've recently made another pivot in
Mm.
my business. Um, I've done it, I think, 3 times
Mm.
now where I've made a big change in my business and I'm so scared that I might fail. But yet over time, again, you build up that muscle. And the alternative is kind of settling for something that just feels like doesn't feel very good. And if you're an entrepreneur and you're listening to this, you know that you're not going to settle. Like you've got to go for it. It's part of your DNA.
Right.
You just have to,
Yeah.
follow that desire. And settling is just, you might be able to do it for a little while, but
But it's not
so I
sustainable,
think,
right? Like when you're settling, because then you're unhappy and then you're unmotivated and then your energy is different and it just doesn't feel good. So I feel like at some point, even if you delay it, it's still going to happen because you're just not going to want to do this piece that, like the settling option anymore. At least, you know what I mean? Like that's what I feel.
Yeah. And I want to be really clear. It's not like it always works out every time. I've had plenty of failures because I've gone for it and wanted to trust that risk.
Mm-hmm.
But the failures aren't like it's nothing that I can't course correct from, right? It might be a little bit off on this offering or this program that I'm putting. Okay, I'm going to course correct. I'm going to try this instead. And I think over time, as you get connected with these tools and you start to bring in some of the tools around managing your mind, you don't make that mean something terrible about yourself if you do have a flop launch or something like that.
Yeah, 100%. There's a lot of... No, we're going to rewind that out. I was going somewhere, but I didn't quite land there. So for me, so yes, 100%. And for me, the tools that work really well are the combination of both the body and the thought tracing. So really like, okay, I have these thoughts. Is this true? Is this accurate? Is there evidence for it? Is there evidence against it? What is the more balanced thought? Because really our mind really does, like you were saying earlier, it does its own thing, and it's there to keep us safe. It's there to keep us held back in a way, because it is our protection. It is our ego. It is there to really just be like, no, don't do the scary thing, because we don't know what's going to happen. Maybe the tiger's going to come and it's going to eat you. Right? So our mind is really there to keep us safe. We don't have these thoughts when we're on the couch eating Netflix. Or we don't have these thoughts when we're on the couch watching Netflix and eating snacks, right? Like we have these thoughts when we're doing the scary thing. So for me, it's really a beautiful... I like to reframe these kind of like scary imposter syndrome thoughts into, oh, this means that I'm doing something this next level. It means I'm at the edge of this cliff and I'm up leveling and I'm doing these really cool things. So when you really reframe it like that, it really helps to be like, oh, this is normal. This is part of the journey, right? These thoughts come. As long as I keep going, then we're good. And we're going to keep going. We're going to be scared and we're going to still do the thing. So it's really a combination of both, in my opinion, to really be able to be successful and keep going and have your business be really aligned and in the place that you want it to be.
Absolutely. I love the way that you shared that. And I think the other thing for people to realize, let's say you haven't set up your business to scale yet, and it might feel too much energy, not outside the comfort zone, but into the panic zone, then you may have some inner work to do before you can step out and be visible on that scale.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important, because I've also worked with a lot of people who want the business to look a certain way, but they haven't done the inner work to get connected with why their body might be putting up all of this armor. And again, our body is very, very smart. The armor is there for a reason. So we have to spend some time there processing those emotions so that you can then drop the perfectionism, let yourself be seen, right? And really put yourself and your business out there so you can make the impact that you need to make. Yep. And I think not beating yourself up if you have to do that work, because I've heard it all the time, I'm not there yet. I'm not where I want to be. But yet when I work with someone and we have to dive under the surface, it's a very good reason why they're afraid of being seen. And we just need to do a little bit of work on that, process it. And then they hit the ground running. They're like, I can't believe that was going on. Well, so I think that's important to realize that your body is also very smart if it's pulling you back from where you want to go. You might just inquire, what's here for me? And it still needs to be processed.
Yeah. And thank you for pointing that out, because this is so, so true. There's times where I've seen people who are like, okay, I'm making, I'm just going to give random numbers, like, oh, I'm making 2K this month, and this following month I made 10K, but that's not sustainable because they're not ready to be there yet. And then they go back and then think this is a failure, but it's not a failure. Like you were saying, right? This is something's happening behind the scenes and there's inner work that has to be done so that 10K month is safe, or whatever number, right? So like you have to feel safe in that. And that's just one example of that. So even just being able to recognize that is a huge step, right? Being able to recognize, oh, there's something holding me back. What can I do to to move beyond that, to move through it to the other side. What can I do? Because our business is really a reflection of our lives, and everything we
Oh,
do, right, in our business is applicable
yeah,
to our
there's
lives.
your mic drop moment. Yes.
But this is why this is important, right? This is why we work on these things. This is why, like, oh, something's happening here, and it's applicable for your whole life, you know? So whatever you're doing in your business, all this inner work, yeah, guess what? It affects the rest of your life as well. So it's great. You get like a 2-for-1, right?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And especially if you are a service provider, right? If you are at the center of your business, then the inner work that you do is going to reflect what happens on the outside in the business.
100%. Beautiful, beautiful tips. I love this. I love this conversation so much because, again, it's something that a lot of people don't talk about, and it's so important. And I love to normalize all of these things because people like to put on this facade, right? Like online, people like to say, oh, yeah, everything looks amazing, but they don't talk about all of these things that happen behind the scenes and the struggle that they go through because people think that makes them look weak or not successful or things like this. But when you share that, when you're vulnerable about that, this is like the thing that is magnetic, right? Like I've been doing all of this work, and you can see this is deep work that happens when you have a business. So yeah, it's really beautiful. I'm really happy we're having this conversation.
Yeah. And I'll give you a concrete example using that 2K to 10K,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you're used to making, 2 or 3K a month and you grew up with that kind of a framework, there is probably, 100%, there's some stuff going on underneath the surface that we get to, if it's ready to, come to the surface around what it means to you, what you're making it mean when you step into that 10K, 20K and beyond, right? A lot of times it's, I'm going to get kicked out of the family, or what are my friends going to think? Are they still going to love and accept me? Or this is so much more work and so much more responsibility, and I don't know if I can handle that. So again, this is the mind. This is the mind, like running away. So we do have to do that inner work in order to set you up to scale.
Right.
And then when you're talking about bringing on team, delegating, systems, right? Like you talk about all the time. We also have to get our mind right about like investing in team or investing in a system, taking the time to set that up so that down the road you can scale and you're not like busier isn't the answer.
Oh.
That's for sure what is not sustainable.
Yeah, exactly.
So again, this is a skill as an entrepreneur to work with your mind so that you can recognize, as you said, right? Recognize when it's happening.
And I have a personal example as well I still work with, but I did a whole program with a financial coach and realized that there was something from my childhood that I carried with me that was preventing me from feeling like, oh, I can earn X amount or I can earn more, right? It wasn't safe for me. So I did have to work through that. And again, this carries through your whole life and other things. Like I had to work through being visible and showing up and taking up space and all of these things, which is something that I actually started working on with yoga teacher training randomly. That's when I recognized it, right? And then that helped me in my business. So a lot of these things, right, are pieces that we have to work through that are just life skills in general, that are traumas, that are things that come up in our business.
Yeah. And I don't know how much time we have. We may have to do a part 2 at some point, but like as women, right, we have a lot of this that's passed down through hundreds of years of it literally not being safe for us to be seen or for us to speak out, right? So that's what we're up against when people are like, I don't know why I can't just go live on Instagram. I'm like, well,
let me tell you.
So we don't have to take it so personally when we can recognize that there's societal, institutional, social constructs that it literally for our ancestors, it was not safe, right? For us to speak out and be seen, put ourselves out there, even have businesses. Not until the 70s in the United States could women have a bank account. So it hasn't been that long. So that's why we're still collectively working through a lot of these traumas that show up. And so if it is showing up for you, it's you're ready. You're the person in your lineage. It's time. the call is here to work through this.
And how beautiful, right? To be the one to break that generational trauma that has been carried for so long, to be that person. And that's a beautiful, beautiful journey. So all of this it's work. It's all part of the journey. It's all part of the entrepreneurial journey. And it is work. And it's also a beautiful work, you know? It's not necessarily, just easy. Like a lot of people think, I just need this strategy, this marketing thing, and not realizing that all of these things come up from that you didn't even know you had inside of you. And it's so liberating to let them go and work through it. So I want to encourage people to do that and to not shy away from it, because it really benefits your life, your whole life in general.
Yes. And no strategy is going to work if you haven't done this inner piece. And I see people online doing it all the time. Let me just buy this program, this $37, $9.97, and they're not implementing. And this is why. It's not the program. It's not the person even, but there's stuff that we've got to work through in order for you to actually apply all of these amazing strategies that are out there.
Yeah.
And I think also, to your point, this doesn't have to be heavy work. Sometimes you can just touch upon what is brewing underneath the surface and it dissipates.
Just recognizing it, right? Like a lot of times just naming it and recognizing it takes away its power, takes away its strength.
Yes. I had a client last week that made a connection around trying to manage everybody's feelings and where it came from and how he was just holding this in every situation in his life. And when he recognized it, he's like, I think I'm done with it. I think it's just over. We'll see how it goes for him. But there was like such a lightness that came in of, wow, I'm trying to manage, he was telling me about like being at a pub, and then he's trying, this group was over here, this group is over here. And then he saw how it was reflected in his family, right? Trying to manage his mom and his dad and his brother and trying to control everybody's emotions, that it was like his responsibility.
That sounds exhausting.
You just touched it. I don't have to do that anymore.
Love that.
So it doesn't have to be this, like I know some therapy's amazing. And if you have unprocessed trauma, yes, therapy. But a lot of this stuff, just literally, it's like a little kid tugging at your shirt, like just wants that attention. We can give it that attention. All of a sudden, it's like, okay, I'm good.
I love it. It's so beautiful. So if we go back to scaling, sounds like for you, I'm going to be putting words into your journey, and let me tell you, or tell me if I'm accurate or not, that a lot of the hurdles or the tips or the lessons or the really important things to learn in order to scale successfully have to do with the inner work and with the body and with listening to your intuition and all of these things. So please share with us, how accurate am I? Did I win the prize? And what is your top scaling? Yes, thank you. What is your top scaling tip?
I've worked with a lot of business owners and CEOs, and they've had very successful multi-million-dollar companies. You can do that without doing the inner work. Totally possible. But if you're heart-centered, what I've seen is eventually you will hit the wall where you start to burn out because there's something that isn't being met there that's not sustainable. So is it possible? Yes. Is it sustainable? I haven't seen it. I've seen a lot of people kind of crash and burn, right? And all of a sudden they're like, I just have to step away from my entire business because I'm so drained and I'm so burnt out. And for me personally, this has been such a big part of my business that there have been times, and this summer I took a bit of a summer sabbatical because I knew that I was shifting my business and I needed time to integrate, which was very hard for my mind. Very, very difficult. My mind is like, no, program, sell, emails, marketing. You need to do all the things. But I intuitively, right, my 90-year-old self, that's who I connect with, my intuition. She's like, honey, what's 2 months in the span of your whole life? Take the time. You need to integrate what you've learned from this last chapter so that you can bring it forward into this next chapter. And now here we are recording this in September, and I'm like a racehorse. Like, I can't wait to get out of the gate. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go now.
Yeah.
And I have the plan
Mm-hmm.
in place because I took that time to integrate. Whereas I know in online business, it's like growth.
But it's intentional now. You figured out, it's
Sure.
like, oh, you recognize your intuition. It guided you. You gave it space to do so. And from that space, you created this plan that is intentional and not just like, oh, squirrel, shiny object, well, this thing, well, that thing, like it gets very chaotic when you don't do that. And that's when things kind of start like getting a little crazy and we don't know if this is sustainable and what's going on, right? So like taking that space and doing that is beautiful to be able to do in order to have this sustainable, intentional business that feels so aligned and so that you're so excited for. I'd imagine that you're like, oh, I can't wait to share this with everybody, right? Like, I can't wait.
Yes. And there's no shame in the season of the squirrel chasing because I've been there too.
Yeah.
Right. So
Same.
I've been in the online space for a while now and I know it well. So I think that's why I was able to manage my mind because it was a real challenge, to connect the mind with the body, create safety up in my mind. My body knew we'd be okay, but my mind was having a really tough time with it.
Yeah.
And so I think depending on where your listeners are in their journey, like this, being an entrepreneur is a spiritual journey. Right. So just recognizing there is a busy time, a very busy, like squirrel chasing time, trying to figure it out. And you might be searching outside of yourself for those answers. And they are waiting right there within you.
When you are ready and able to hear them, right? When you're ready to listen.
When you're ready to hear them.
Yeah. One last question on that and wrap it up. For you, how would you advise to know the difference between let me wait and integrate and this is scary, I'm going to kind of ignore it and it's fear-based versus I need to integrate this?
Oh, that is such a good question.
So we're hard hitting over here.
Yes. Okay. And the reason it's really landing for me is because I have worked with a lot of heart-centered coaches and entrepreneurs, and all they want to do is integrate.
Right.
Right. So I think it's a really good question. I think personally for me, it is going out, taking that walk, getting connected, asking those questions. Right. And usually for me, because I have that practice, the answer is very clear. It's like, nope, we have to do this. We have to give it a try. I do a lot of journaling to my 90-year-old self. That's a really, really fun and beautiful practice. Just like asking your 90-year-old self what you should do. She always knows the answer. So I have these practices that I've kind of built up over time to find the answer. I did in the beginning of my career spend quite a bit of time integrating, waiting for the right time. And maybe asking yourself, well, why are you waiting? What are you waiting for? What is the feeling that you're waiting for? So you can get clear on that, because often it's, again, your mind is like, well, wait until you feel ready. I haven't met one person that's just like, I am ready for the whole world to see my heart's vision. Right.
Yeah.
And so I think it does come back to creating some sort of daily integration process where you're connecting with that intuition, whatever that might look like for you. And I'm talking like a minute to 5 minutes. Doesn't need to be a big, long thing.
Yeah, beautiful. I think too, on the other side. So I've been on the other side where it's like,
I was just gonna ask you, do you have one?
Yeah, well, so that's the thing, right? It's like, no, go. I have to do the thing. Like, let me do the thing without taking the time to pause. And I had like a half pause when I relocated about a year ago. So, okay, let me slow down and let me create something. But I needed to create the thing that wasn't totally aligned to kind of feel that in order to then recognize the feeling of, oh, this is it, like, and kind of go through that process. Like you were saying, like you have to go through these things in order to then be able to know that, oh, this is the feeling. Oh, this is it. Yeah. So I feel like that's the
Yes.
piece that I had been going through this past year in order to get to the point now where I could create this thing. And I stopped myself, thank you very much, from launching it right away, right? From like jumping in and launching it. Like I gave myself time. And now it's September. I'm launching it in January. And I've been working on this for a couple of months. I'm putting everything in place, making the plan, making it intentional, which is new for me because I like to just like, or I had the habit of jumping in and going, but I'm like forcing myself to make it very intentional, like the whole thing. So I think that's, yeah, I'm on the other side, but it's still
Yeah. And I
learning
think
the same things. Like the lesson is the same.
absolutely. And again, I think there's a season for trying out lots of different things. And you have to go through it, right? You have to go through the cave in order to find your inner hero.
Right, exactly.
And just waiting and creating it in your mind is never going to give you the real-time feedback like you're talking about. You have to put some programs out there or some offers out there, get some experience. Just like I was talking about with the massage clients that weren't aligned. Same thing in my coaching business. In the beginning, I had coaching clients that maybe weren't aligned. I had a couple offerings that weren't aligned. But you have to try in order to figure out what alignment does feel like.
Right.
And so if you can allow yourself, give yourself that permission that this doesn't feel 100%, but I'm going to go for it because I know I'm going to learn from it is a great skill for you. You're going to find that alignment quicker by actually having real life.
Yes, by
clients,
taking action,
programs,
right, doing the
100%.
thing, right, instead of it being just theoretical. So yeah,
Exactly.
so it's like a balance on both sides. So amazing. Thank you so much. So let us know how we can stay in touch with you. If you have any gifts that you want to share, this is your floor to do that.
Oh, well, thank you so much. You can follow me over on Instagram. It's at Carly Clark Zimmer, or on my website, which is the same, carlyclarkzimmer.com. And if you want to go ahead and book a chemistry session, if someone does want to work together and explore what that might look like, you are so welcome to hop on a call and we can go on this journey together.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. This was amazing. Thank you for being
This is
here.
so fun. I could talk all day.
I know, right?
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
It's a pleasure.